inheritance. Okay.
Inheritance, yeah.
So inheritance. So what is nothing but a inheritance actually? So inheritance is nothing but one class is extending the another class. Okay. So one class is extending the another class. That is basically inheritance. Okay. So inheritance in the sense, so we are acquiring the inherited class. Basically, we will call it as a child class. Okay. Okay, class which is got inherited, this one is, we will call it as a parent class. So basically there will be two class, one is called parent class, another one is called a child class. Okay. So in child class, so it will acquire all the property and methods of the parent class.
Okay.
So what and all property, let's say we declared one 5 variable in the parent class, comma 3 method in the parent class. Okay. So if you create any child class, basically, so in child class, that 5 variable plus 3 method plus additional variable and methods we can create it in the child class. Okay. So these things we can achieve it by using a keyword called extends. By using a keyword called extends. Some noisy actually.
Yeah. मम्मी कुछ नॉइज आ रही है पीछे से. Now it's better?
Yeah, somewhat okay.
Okay.
Okay, so let me create one class.
Are you sharing your screen?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, so create one parent class. Okay, so this is nothing but a class, we know, right? It's a normal class. Okay, so let me create two variable here, integer number 1, so integer so number 2. Okay, so same like create constructor also. Okay, so create a one constructor for this particular class and create a necessary methods. So what and all methods required, let's assume, so we'll create one method. Okay, so public, so void, okay, so calculate. Okay, so assume this is a method. Okay, so what this method it will do, so this method it will do integer sum is equal to num1 plus correct. So this is nothing but a simple method. Correct. So this one basically we will call it as a basic class, right?
Yeah.
So how to use this class as a this class in a inheritance. Okay. So if you want to participate any class in inheritance, basically this class should be a virtual class. Okay. This class should be a virtual class. Okay. So whenever this class is a virtual, then only we can override this particular class.
Okay.
So make this parent class as a virtual.
Okay.
Okay, so this virtual is a keyword. Okay.
Okay.
So whenever we declare class as a virtual, so in that case this class can become a parent class for any other child class.
Okay.
Okay. So
Yes.
how to make class? Okay, so once you declared a method as a virtual, so we can override the classes.
Okay.
Okay, override means we can extend this particular parent class. Okay. How to use this particular method actually? So if you want to use a method, okay, basically the method also should be virtual.
Okay.
Okay, so method also should
virtual.
Okay.
Okay.
So let me say let me pass one variable.
So if we want to extend any class, then we have to define that class as a virtual and as well as method also.
Correct. So what
Okay.
and all methods you want to override, so that method should be also virtual. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Unexpected line number 14. What is happening? Oh, sorry. It is clear, right?
Yeah. Clear.
So why this inheritance is required actually? Let's say in two classes, assume this is a parent class, right? Why inheritance is required? Inheritance is nothing but something we are getting it from the parent, correct? So that we can avoid using recoding again. Let's say here some send email, some email functionality is there in this particular class. Okay, so email to some email ID with some particular subject. Okay, in other class also I want the same functionality. You are sending an email, correct? So in that case, so no need of writing that functionality again is not really required, correct?
Okay.
Because both functionality are same. So in that case, so basically we can extend the some other class. Okay, in that case we can use this particular parent class. Okay, assume this method is used for sending an email. Okay, in that case, so this method will be available by default. This method will be available in parent as well as child also.
Okay.
Okay, so how to call from the child? By child object dot this method.
Okay.
Okay, so in this case, why these virtual methods are required actually? Assume here also we are doing some functionality. So assume here we are sending an email for owner of the record. Okay, assume here we are sending the record email for a particular email ID. Okay, some disturbance.
Yeah. Just a second. एक second. Just a second.
Yeah.
चलाए? जैसे आसान है ना? Now it's better?
Yeah, now it's better actually.
Okay.
Okay, so now why these virtual methods are required actually? So why virtual methods? So virtual methods are required if you want to override this particular functionality. Assume here we are dealing with sending a email for a opportunity owner. Assume here we are sending a email for the opportunity owner. Okay, in child class, so you want to send a email for the account owner, something like that. The functionality is slightly different. Okay, in that case, so basically instead of writing another method, okay, we are writing another method in a child class. Basically we can use the same method in the child class, and we can override only functionality in the sense, so we are recreating only functionality, whereas method signatures are same. Okay, so that is nothing but a use of the virtual methods, and that is how inheritance is come into the picture.
Okay.
Clear? So now let me create a child class. Clear, right?
Yeah, yeah, clear.
Okay. So whenever we are writing it in a child class, basically that method should we have to use at a override. Okay,
Oh,
that method should have we have to use it as a override.
yeah.
Okay, So if you observe this method, if you observe these classes actually, so these classes, okay, so public class inheritance which extends, see, which extends is a keyword, so which is used for extending the
Extend the class.
parent class, okay, extend as parent class name, correct, in an inheritance child extend as parent class, okay.
Okay.
So what it will happen once you do like this, so all the parent class properties we are getting, okay, in the sense variables plus methods, okay. So whenever you want child specific implementation, in that case, so basically we have to use, okay, so override,
Okay.
okay. So here it is nothing but a child specific implementation, okay.
Okay.
So whenever you want to give a child specific implementation for a particular method, basically that method should be virtual in the parent, okay, that method should be a virtual in the parent, okay. So here we can use your own business logic, okay,
Okay.
here we can use your own
This.
business logic, okay. Okay, so now, so what I will do, let me put some debug log.
This system.debug has to be in capital always?
No, no, no. I
Okay.
can, because Apex itself it is a, like this one case insensitive. You can write it in capital or small letter.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so
Incorrect signature is saying.
method does not either include inheritance, construct inheritance, parent construct. Hold on, so let me check. Okay, should have a zero argument construct. Okay, it should always have a zero argumented constructor. Okay, so parent class should always have a zero argumented constructor. Okay, so what it will happen? Okay, so what it will happen? So is in that disturbance.
Yeah, again disturbance. Actually, the my house is nearby roadside, so that's why I guess.
Oh, is it? Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
so
Now this one. Yeah.
so what it will happen, so whenever I call a particular method, okay, so whenever I create a object of the child class, and if I call a particular method, so in this particular class now, so calculate and calculate child and calculate method is available, and also this particular calculate parent method also it will available, okay. So I will show you how to call this particular methods and how to use that. Okay, so it is a calculate, just calculate method, right? So calculate parent method, okay. So here another thing is nothing but, so child can able to access all the properties of the parent, okay, whereas parent cannot access the child property, okay.
Okay.
So in the sense, if you create a object of the child like parent, and we can't call this particular method,
Okay.
okay, whereas we can create a child object and we can call any of the property from this particular parent class, okay.
Okay.
Clear?
Mhm.
So let me go to developer console, okay. Developer console is just for running the particular code, okay, code snippet,
Yeah.
because these codes are were explicitly running, right? So that's why. So okay, so now I created this particular like object of the child class, okay. So I can call with this particular thing, I will call this particular calculate method, which calculate, so parent calculate method,
Okay.
okay. So why? Because so since it's a inheritance, so we can able to access the parent as well as child properties, either it's a method or it is a what you called variables. So what it will happen actually, so in this case, so this method, this particular method, basically it will call the parent,
Yes.
okay. So this second particular method, so it will basically it will call the child,
Child. Yeah.
okay. Clear?
Yeah.
So yeah, listen, so let me run this particular thing. It is always best practice to write a zero argumented constructor, okay. So it is always best practice to write a zero argumented constructor. Let me set a debug log. Can you mute your side?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So let me run this particular piece of code. So what it will happen? Okay, so it's done. So go to debug log and check for this particular log. So what it will happen? So first method, so which will always call the parent calculate method. Why? Because so calculate, there is no calculate method here, correct. So calculate with zero constructor, so basically calculate method with a no argumented method, so which will be available in the parent. So even though if you closely observe this particular code, so we are creating a child class object and we are calling this particular thing. So in that case, so by default it will go and call this particular parent method, okay. So it always call this particular parent method. And second thing is nothing but, so we have called with a calculate method with passing two parameter. If you observe closely, observe here, the calculate method which will be available in two side. So one is with child also, so one is available in parent also. Whenever we are creating a the child class object, and if you call that method, basically it will go and call this particular child class method, okay. So whenever we create it, assume if there is no method present here, so in that case, as like calculate method, so it is going to call the parent method, okay. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay, so this is all about inheritance, okay. So this is all about inheritance. In inheritance, so we have to remember only thing is nothing but how to inherit the class. So basically, if you want to inherit the class, parent class should be a virtual, okay. So it has to declare with a virtual class, okay. What and all methods you want to override, that method should be a virtual, okay. So these are two conditions, okay. So whenever the child class which implement child class, so we should extend that particular parent class. Whenever it extends that particular parent class, so basically what it will happen, so all the parent class properties, basically properties which will be available in child class also, either it is a methods or it is a variables or it is a getter setters. Okay, so this is basically about inheritance. Okay, what is this one actually? So if you see here, these both methods are same, right? Okay, so both methods signature are exactly same. If you talk yesterday in the class, so we are discussing about method overloading, correct? In method overloading, so same method name and but different signature set. Okay,
That's good.
correct. Even though there will be a different in the return type also, either it's a void or if some other different return type it can hold. Okay, but thing is nothing but it should have a same method name in the case of method overloading. Okay, in the case of method overriding, so it should have a exact same signature as like parent. There is no changes in the any signature. Okay, so this is, we will call it as a overriding. Okay, method overriding. So this is we will call it as compile time polymorphism. Okay, so this is also another way of polymorphism. Okay, so this method overriding which will be possible only in case of inheritance. Okay, so method overriding which will happen in two different classes, correct? So one method is in child class, one method in parent class, correct? Method overloading which will happen in only the parent, only one class,
Only one class.
correct? Only one class. So that is basically difference between method overriding and method overloading. Okay, clear, right? Any questions?
Now one question here. So, for example, since you are extending this parent class, okay, inheritance parent from the other class in this child class, so why you are declaring integer num1, integer num2 here also?
No, this is just for I give example. Okay, you can declare some other variable. Just for example sake.
Oh, okay.
So
So,
means we
if we
can
don't declare also, we can still pass the value in num1 and num2, right?
right, we can declare the same variable as like parent also. Okay, we can use some other variables also. Okay, still you can able to access the parent variable also.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that is thing actually. So clear, right?
Clear.
Okay, so yeah, this is about the inheritance. Okay, so this is a very important as I know basic things, because so some of the logics we are writing it in the parent class, so same logic we can use it in the child class. So whenever you want to give a child specific implementation, so in that case basically we can go for an inheritance. Okay, this depends on architect to architect, because some people they will directly write it. Apex is a simple language, right? It is not like a complex like Java and all. So basically people won't go much like inheritance interface and all, they won't use. Basically it's up to depends on the architect who are architecting that particular project. So some people they strictly go for inheritance implementations and all. Okay, so some people they will go directly and they will create a class and they will do all the logics in some other class also. They are completely depends on the project architect. Okay, so this is about inheritance concept. Okay, so now if you come to the third section, we will call it as a collections. Okay, so collections. Okay, so what is nothing but a collections? If you observe here, so we are declaring a variables, correct? So what is nothing but a variables? Even the variables which are using for holding a particular value. Okay, so this variable can hold at least only one value, correct? Assume there will be a scenario if you want to hold at least 100 values at a time. Okay, how to do that? So this cannot be possible in case of this particular data type. This is basically we will call it as a primitive data type, right? So this is not possible in this case of particular variable. So in that case, for that situation, basically we are using a collections. Okay, so basically we are using a collection. There will be three kind of collections. Okay, list, set and map. Okay, list, set and map. So first we will discuss about list. Okay, so list is nothing but it is a collection, so which will hold a set of like values. Okay, so list is a collection, so which will hold a list of values. Okay, how to create a list actually? So list can be created same like creating a object. Okay, so this is how we can create a list. Okay, so list. Okay, so star is a what variable equal to new list. Okay, so hold on. Okay, so this is how we are creating a list. Okay, clear? Hello.
Yes, clear, sir.
Okay, so how to add a value for a particular list actually? So now list is a kind of a variable, so the way we are creating list is same like a object creation. Okay, how to add a values to the list actually? So value can be added by using list name dot add.
Okay.
Okay, add 10.
So particular value, this value will be added to this particular list.
Correct, value. Okay, so like this. Okay, so value can be added by using a method called add. So this is basically a method. Okay, list is a basically a class. Okay, so how we are creating a object, same way we are creating a list.
List.
Okay, so this is a method. Once you say list name dot add, so basically this value will go and store it in this particular list variable. Okay, so now I added integer and string value also. Okay,
Yes.
so some of the scenarios, so we have to restrict the list in such a way that it should hold only one type of data. Okay,
Yes.
either it is a string or it is a
Integer.
integer, or it is a kind of object, like
Okay.
it's a account object. It should hold only account object or only content or only department underscore underscore c object, so on so on. Okay, in that case, so basically here explicitly we have to mention the generic type. Okay, so this is basically we will call it as a generic type. Okay, so generic type. So generic type, so which will enforce the list such a way that it should hold only one type of data. Okay, it should hold only one type of data. In this case, so I declared it as an integer. List is of the type integer. Okay,
Yes.
so in that case we can't able to like have a string value.
Yeah. Okay. So it will throw an error at compile time.
Correct. Whenever you are saving the thing, so it will throw error. So if you want to say string, same thing. You can use a string.
Okay.
Okay. So put it as string will be enclosed with a single quote. Okay. So string will be enclosed with a single quote. Clear, right? So how to add a account object. So account. Right? So account, the API name for account is nothing but account. Okay, this right? Do you know this account? Okay,
Yeah.
hold on. So I will show you. So whenever you are going for account record, so go to account record.
Yes, account. That account object, if you go there, it will show that account as a API name.
Correct. So API name as well as field API names. This is actually
Yes.
account. Okay, so these are nothing but a field API names. Okay, so
Yes.
whenever we are using in a program while writing a program, make sure we have to use a field name.
Yeah.
Make sure you have to use a field name, not a field label.
Yeah.
Okay, so now how to hold a account object, account record basically. So create one account. Okay, how to create account is also a kind of class. Okay, so create a object. Okay, so new account, correct? Okay, so account dot name. Okay, some xyz. Okay, add account dot what other site.
And will repeat something like that.
Yeah, some blah blah blah. Okay, so so on so on. Okay, add it with the account.
Okay.
Okay, so create one more account object, like account 2. Okay, account 2, some different data. Okay, so account 2, so on so on. Okay, like this basically we can able to store the list, data. How to add a values to the list. Okay, either it is a primitive data type or it is a yes objects. Yes objects could be either it is a standard object or it may be any custom object. Okay, clear, right? Any doubt?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so if you look into some of the other methods of the list. Okay, so let me check some of the other methods of the list. You're getting late?
No, no, no. Fine, continue.
Okay, add method is for adding the data into a list. Okay, so there will be other methods also. So what are the other methods? See, add is a adding the elements to the list. How the list elements are added? So list elements are added in a sequence, in a particular sequence. Let's say here added act 2 comma act 1, so act 2 is added here. Okay, after that act, assume it is a pipe. Okay, it is a kind of stack. It will
So the way you define your class, like first you have added account 2, then account second, then.
correct. So it is basically list is basically indexed. Yeah, hello. Hello. Can you hear me? Hello. 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 Hello.
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so we are talking about this one, right? So list is basically it is a indexed, actually indexed. Okay, so it always starts with 0. Act 2, let's say if I say add of act 2, so it will be added in 0th position. Okay, so on, like 1 position, 2nd position, 3rd position, 4th position, so on. Okay, it always added in a sequence, indexed. It is basically indexed. You got it, right? Indexed. Okay, and also another thing is nothing but we can add a duplicate data to a list. Okay, so let's say we added act 2, right? So if we can add the act 2 again here. Okay, so it will, yeah, it will go to 3rd place again, like this. Okay, so it will list will always allows duplicate. Make sure we can add duplicate entries also in the list. Okay, fine. So if you say add index comma list element, in the sense we can add the particular index level, that particular thing, in the sense. So now it added in the 2nd position, right? If you want to add this is as a 3rd position, make sure we can do it like this. In that case, so basically it is going to add it in here.
To get the particular index position, we can use this method.
Correct, this method, so which will help to add a particular data in the index level. Okay, clear? So basically everyone will use add only. In some scenario, rare scenario, we can go for this one. Okay, add all. What is nothing but add all? Add all is nothing but adding one list to another list. Add all the elements specific. Let's say I am having one list called list 1. Okay, another list I am having is list 2. Some of the scenario you want to merge both the lists, right? Okay, in that case, instead of like retrieving the list and adding into another list, so directly we can use this particular add all method. Okay, add all. Okay, list comma list 2. Okay, assume list var is a one okay, list. Okay, let's say add all comma add all 2, like this. All the data which is available in list var 2 list, so which will be added automatically to this particular list. Okay, clear?
Yeah, clear.
Same thing, add all from the set. We'll discuss this one later. So now we are adding from list to list, right? Even though we can add from set to list also. This is for set. Clear. So what it will happen, clear. So clear, which will remove all the elements from the list. Okay, so whenever your operation is done, so we have to make sure we have to clear the list sometimes, or else what it will happen, for next operation it will hold the old value plus new value. List will become it will keep on growing. Okay, you have to clear the lists. Clone is nothing but it is just for duplicating the list. Okay, so list var dot clone, in that case automatically this list will be cloned and another list will be available. Okay, clear?
Yeah.
So deep clone, what is nothing but a deep clone? So makes a duplicate copy of a list of S object records, including S object record themselves. So what is nothing but a deep clone? So deep clone, we can use it only for the S object. Okay, what is nothing but a deep clone? Deep clone is nothing but if you assume account record, okay, account record which is having other child records also, right, like contacts, opportunities, so on. Okay, whenever you use a deep clone, in that case, it is cloning parent as well as all the childs. Okay, clone is a just simple clone. If you say
Using deep clone then.
correct, so deep clone we can use it only for the S object. Okay, only for the S object.
Yeah.
Okay, equals method is just for checking whether two lists are equals or not. Okay, two lists are equals or not. Okay, compare the this list with this specified list. If returns true, if both are equal, otherwise it will return a false. Okay, clear, right? Any doubt in this method?
No.
Get how to retrieve the elements from the list. Actually, that is the another thing, how to retrieve the elements from the list. So we can, since list is a indexed, right? So list is a indexed, so we can retrieve the element of the list by giving a index, correct? This is a for loop. I don't know whether you know or not. This is a for loop basically, which is used for looping any kind of values. Either we can use it for list or we can use it for set. Okay, list dot size, if you go here, size is a method, so which will returns the number of elements which is present in the list. Okay, number of elements which is present in the list. Okay, so I am iterating this particular list. List var dot I. So whenever we use list dot var of I, okay, list var dot get of I, since list is indexed, right? Now it will going to iterate this particular list. Okay, so whenever say we are passing 0, it is going to give a 0th value, correct? So it is going to give a 0th value here. 0th value, what is the 0th value? 0th value is nothing but account 2. It is going to return a account 2 object, first loop. Second loop it will come and second times it will run. Second value, first it will, I become 1, right? I become 1, so it is going to give ACK, and I become 2, it is going to give ACK 2 again, so on. This is the one of the way where we can retrieve the list. This is
we use this for loop.
Correct. So whenever you want to retrieve the or fetch the data from the list, so basically we can go for this for loop. Okay, so another way also we can able to retrieve the list, which we will discuss later. Okay, so yeah, that is the one thing. So get S object type returns the token of the S object that makes up a list of S object. Okay, whenever you don't know what is the generic type of list. Okay, assume sometimes you don't know generic type of list. Now we know it is account, right? So sometimes we don't know the generic type, means basically we can use this particular method to get the type of the list, either say account list or it is a contact list, so on. Okay, so hash code, so returns the hash code corresponds to list and list contents. Hash code is something nothing but some method. Okay, so which will return some unique value for that particular list, or for that list values. So this is not really required actually, so for time being we will ignore this particular method. Okay, so what is nothing but is empty method, so which is used to check whether list is empty or not. Correct. So we can check whether list is empty or not by using two ways. One is nothing but, see, this is a boolean method, returns true if the list has 0 elements.
Yes.
Okay, even though we can check the size also. If the size equal to 0, then basically list is empty, right? Correct. There is no element, basically list is empty.
Is empty is a boolean, so it will return true and false. Here it is a number.
Correct. If it is a 0, then list is a empty.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is nothing but add, right? So set is very similar to add. Okay, add index comma element. So set is also very similar to add method. Okay, clear? So what is nothing but a remove? Whenever you want to remove the data from the list, okay, let's say you added three method, okay, three data you added for the list, okay, so you want to remove one data. How to remove that? Basically we can use this method, remove method, and pass the index or sequence for that particular thing, and you can remove that. Okay, assume you want to remove this ACK. Okay, ACK, the sequence of the ACK is nothing but 2, right? 2, correct? So in that case, how to remove? List dot remove
Index value.
2. In that case, this got removed actually. Now the data for the list is nothing but only 2.
Okay.
Okay, clear? Is that clear? So this is about list. Okay, so this is about a list. Okay, so clear, right?
Yeah.
Okay, this is a one way how we can iterate the list. Okay, so another way we can iterate is nothing but, okay, so give a value, the type of the list type. Okay, assume this is a variable, pass a,
Okay.
okay, list name. So now when we can put a like sorry, this is the another way where we can retrieve the list also. Okay, so this is another way.
You can say, right?
Correct. So this is basically we will call it as for each style for loop.
Okay.
For each style for loop. Okay, this is a simple for loop.
Okay.
Okay, this is a simple for loop.
Yeah. So doubt is like how to decide which for loop we should use. Whether we should use for simple one or whether we should go for this second one for loop.
See,
How to decide that?
See, in this case, so this is always we are going with this particular for loop only. Okay, so some of the scenario where we need to get specific number. Okay, let's assume you want to retrieve a 10th record of this particular list. In that case, basically we have to go for this particular for loop.
Okay.
Okay, you understood? So this is nothing but, so randomly if you want to just iterate a particular thing, so basically you can go for this particular thing. Okay, is that clear?
Not fully actually. Yes.
Okay,
I
see,
didn't get the when to use this second one.
See.
Which one? This type. Yeah.
assume some of the scenario, like some of the scenario in the sense, how we can say, I want to iterate the 10th record. Okay, I want to iterate the 10th record of the account object. Okay, and I want to send a email.
Okay. For that account owner. Who's
For,
the 10th
correct, for that account owner. So here we are actually using a 10th account record, right?
Yes.
So in that case, so no need of going this particular for loop. Here there is no index control. It is just iterate all the records and it is going to give a value. Here we can control. So here we can put a if loop. Okay, if I equal to 10, then only just retrieve the record, or else just go and keep on iterate.
So whenever we want to retrieve a particular index or particular value from the S object, we go for the simple loop.
Correct, simple loop. So whenever just iterating it, so then basically we are going for a for each style for loop. We will come to know whenever we are going with the like high level coding. Okay.
Yeah, correct.
So maybe after few sessions, maybe we'll come to know why exactly you have to go for a for each style and for loop.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is about a set, list. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
and the set is very similar to list only. Okay, set is very similar to list only, but it is
Suresh, let's stop here. We'll discuss set in the next session.
okay. Fine, tomorrow we'll connect. Okay,
Tomorrow. So at what time? Same time or you want us to connect in the evening?
same time, 8 o'clock, 8 to 9 we'll connect.
Okay.